So today we will be presenting William Hurt Kilpatrick. My name is Jessica Gonzalez.
My name is Priscilla Lozano.
And my name is Jackie Mendoza.
Progressive educational philosopher and interpreter of John Dewey's work, William Hurt Kilpatrick was born on November 20th, 1871 in White Plains, Georgia. He was a son of a Baptist minister. He was educated in village schools. He graduated from Mercer University in Macon, Georgia, moving on to graduate work in mathematics at Johns Hopkins University. In 1906, he became embroiled in the series of controversies with the institution's president that resulted in a board of trustees holding a Hersey trial, after which Kilpatrick resigned. In 1908, he moved to New York City to begin his doctoral studies at Teachers College, Columbia University, where John Dewey, one of his major professors, called him the best student he ever had. His dissertation, which he defended in 1911, was a history of the colonial Dutch schools in New York. He came across Columbia at several nations conferences during 1936, with John Dewey wading into the controversy to support Kilpatrick's continued appointment. Kilpatrick's final class in 1937 consisted of 622 students, bringing to a total of 35,000. Kilpatrick's career at Teachers College came to a close amid controversy. Dean William Russell decided to enforce the institution's mandatory retirement age, and his action set off a nation's firestorm among educators when Kilpatrick was the ruling's first casualty.
How did Kilpatrick impacted on education? It is said that in 1918, Kilpatrick published his article named The Project Method in the Teachers College Record. This article provided a practical approach and implemented John Dewey's educational philosophy. One of the topics included in this article is interest and effort, which is one of Dewey's earlier work. Kilpatrick discussed about the student engagement in purposeful activity in intellectual, physical, and affective levels. Due to the inclusion of projects that matched the child-centered approach advocated by progressive educators at the time, the article became to be one of the best sellers among educators, and it launched Kilpatrick's national public career. A little bit more about how Kilpatrick impacted on education. It is said that he had an effective teaching and charismatic public speaking ability. Often he would teach classes with 600 students, and he was able to use group work, discussion, and summary lectures to enrich the educational experience for his students. He was also known for his Georgia accent, thick mane hair, and his perspective blue eyes. New York Press even gave him the moniker Columbia's $1 million professor. Although his salary never reached the figure, his class tuition did exceed during this quarter century, which is Columbia University.
This is William Hurt at a Teachers College at the unveiling of a banner of tribute presented by the China Association for the Advancement of Learning. And to the right is an image of his tombstone where he was buried. Project Method by Kilpatrick. The project method was for early childhood education. It was for architect and engineering schools, and it was a technique that students will apply their knowledge and skills. For example, designing a monument or building a steam engine. And this allowed the students to solve problems with as very little help from the teacher. The teacher was seen as the facilitator, which was just she was seen as a teacher helper, and this allowed to explore and experience throughout their senses. and they redirected their own learning, and this became a form of progressive education.
In continuation of project method, Kilpatrick invented 4 classes of method for his project. Number 1, construction, such as writing a play. Number 2, enjoyment, such as experiencing a concert. Number 3, problem, for instance, discussing a accomplished social problem like poverty. Number 4, specific learning of skills such as swimming.
William heard Kilpatrick's quotes. We learn what we accept as our way of living, and we learn it in the degree we live it. Education is thus the cumulative effect of all one's successive learnings. Philosophy must at each successive stage of growth help men to set up appropriate aims and ideals of life. A suitable philosophy of education must help practical school people find the educative procedures necessary to attain these aims and prepare for still higher. The learner's attitude is thus an essential factor to determine the direction of his learning, whether he shall learn to do or not learn to do. The core problem facing our schools is a moral one. All the other problems derive from it. Even academic reform depends on putting character first.